Oftentimes the question is your child too big for a car seat but not quite ready for an adult seat? And if so, what's the correct seating? Joining us with the answer and why it's important to really help keep kids safe in cars is Denise Geleitsmann, Injury Prevention Program Coordinator with Austin Public Health. Good morning, Denise.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I don't have kiddos, but I have a little nephew. He's still toddler age, but you know, even then I've seen his progression going from one car seat to another and another. And how do you know which one is the correct one?
Well, when we're talking about the older kids and like when they start to get to about 4 or 5, a lot of parents don't realize that they need to actually go one step again before they put them in the seatbelt and what's called a booster seat.
Yeah.
And it's called a booster seat because it boosts them up so that the seatbelt fits them correctly. And by correctly, we mean if you think about us sitting in a vehicle, when it comes across our shoulder and then our chest and then it sits low on our hips. And what parents can do is like check out their child when they're sitting in the seat, and if that seatbelt's coming up on their neck or it's up above their, like on their stomach, then they probably need to be in a booster seat.
Oh, that's a great tip, and he's right about that age, and he's big for his age, so he's quickly growing like a weed. You know, what are some other things? How long is typical? I mean, I know that's so difficult to say because kids grow at different rates.
Right. So the majority of booster seats, you're not going to be able to get a child in them unless they're at least 4 years old, 40 pounds, and 40 inches.
Okay.
What I really see some concerns is when we see parents dropping off their elementary school age children, you know, they're in kindergarten or 1st or 2nd grade, and they're sitting in the front seat, or they're sitting even in the back seat, but they're not in booster seats. I think a lot of parents forget that you still need your child to be in this extra step for a lot longer than you would think. And actually the law states until 8. They need to be in one of these seats, or they're 4 foot 9 inches.
Yeah, absolutely. Really paint the picture for it. What's the problem of sitting in the front seat or in the back seat without a booster seat? I know you mentioned the placement of this seat belt. Why is it so important?
Well, first of all, we really don't want children sitting in the front seat if they're under 13 years of age. We understand there's some vehicles like trucks that's not going to be possible. If it's not possible, ideally what would happen is that you would turn off the airbag. Children under 13, in the event of a crash and that airbag goes off, it could really injure them and possibly kill them. So that's why we want them to be in the back seat if they can.
Okay.
The back seat's just going to be safer in the event of any crash. And being in the booster seat, again, is all about the fit being correct. So it's coming across the shoulder and not up on the neck. Because if you think about in a crash, if that seatbelt is hitting them on the neck or on the stomach, that can cause internal injuries or even neck injuries.
Yeah. What's the important thing when you're shopping and you've got a lot of choices for booster seats? What are some things to look for?
You just want to make sure that it is federally under the Motor Vehicle Federal Safety Standards.
Okay.
I can't really recommend a particular car seat, but you can go to NHTSA.gov, and that talks a lot about like what seat should your child be in based on their age, their height, their weight, and can give some recommendations on what to look for. Okay, perfect. And if any parent needs a little bit more information, how can they get in touch with these services? So they can go to austintexas.gov in injury prevention. So that's our website. That also has a lot of resources there. Okay, perfect. Any last tips for parents? Just if you've already taken your child out of the booster seat, maybe like do a double check. If they're under 8, they need to be in one. And even if they're 9 or 10, just look at them when they're in the vehicle. Is that seatbelt fitting them correctly? If not, you might want to put them back in the booster seat. I know they're not going to like that, but it's going to be the safest thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What really stuck with me is make sure that it's not at the neck. Right. And belly button area. It actually needs to be low on the hips. So think about how a seatbelt, when you get in the vehicle, how does it fit you? That's how it should be fitting a child. Otherwise, they should be in a booster. Okay. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much, for having me.